again from SONAX. Sorry, we had a little Wi-Fi issue because we're not in our office. So let's start over here. Jason and Rob are out traveling, so you get me this week, and I'm here with Jason from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. And Jason, what car are we going to work on today?
Yeah, what we've been working on is a Jaguar XK120, 1949.
And as I said before, the XK120, everybody's asked me what model number it is, and I had no idea other than it is a beautiful car. So it needed quite a bit of paint correction on it, and it is still in process. When the car is done, it's going up north here in Indianapolis to Conner Prairie display. What's their...
Yeah, they have the festival machines, which is in September, but we will bring the car as like a promotional object for the concourse later this month.
So that'll be exciting. So far, let's take a look at the car. So far, like I said, we've done a little bit on it. It is far from finished, but so far we've gotten the hood. It's already had the two-step correction on it. So what did you use on what all did you do? Yeah,
the swirl marks were pretty heavy on the car, so we started out with the Cut Max with the red foam pad on the DA, and then we went to the EX0406 on the finishing pad.
Nice. It's beautiful. When I came over and had all the lights on and we were looking, it had just a lot of swirl marks. I mean, more so than the Azada that we worked on a few weeks ago. But let's just take a walk around here. We got a lot of chrome and bright work on this car like we had on the Azada. So we'll be using our chrome and aluminum polish. We'll turn the lights on here at the end just so you can see the swirl marks, because right now without the bright lights on it looks pretty good, but then when you get it either out in daylight or you get the bright lights on, you can really see the swirl marks. I mean, it has a beautiful, beautiful interior. I would personally love to drive this car back across the street to the Speedway if we could. What's the history behind this car? It has kind of an interesting tie-in with some Hollywood stars.
Yeah, one of the neat things was the car was purchased in 1949 by Mr. Tony Holman for Clark Gable while he was here filming his hit movie To Please a Lady. Mr. Holman knew that Clark had this same version of the Jag back home in LA, and he was a car nut. Had a lot of fabulous cars in his collection at this time here. But he was here filming. Mr. Holman wanted to buy something that he would drive while he was here, so he purchased this car for him as a courtesy car. It also was used by Wilbur Shaw to take passengers around the track after Clark Gable used it during his time here.
And what speed does it get up to?
I think the top speed at the time on these cars was very high. It topped out at about 130 miles an hour. It's an aluminum body car. The early XK120s were aluminum. So it's one of the 280 something that were aluminum bodied cars. By 52 they went to steel bodied.
Interesting. Can we take a look under the hood just real quick? I'm always fascinated by the engines on these machines, and I'm sure a lot of you watching are as well. Love that emblem. Oh wow, beautiful.
So it's a dual overhead cam, 6-cylinder, a pretty powerful engine for the time.
Nice. Now, are we going to do anything to the engine on the bright work, or are we just doing the outside?
We're just doing the outside right now, but later the car leaves next Friday, and how long it's taken for the paint correction, we might have to work on that a little bit later.
So speaking of length of time, for instance, on this car, I know we just got started on it. Like you can see that we still are just in the first stage correction here on the fender, even though the hood is done. On the Azada, how many man hours would you say we spent on that?
We had around 20.
About 20. Okay, and on this one, how many hours do you think we're going to have on it at the end?
So I think I'm at 20 now. So
you're at 20, and
probably,
you're about a third of the way through,
yeah,
would you say?
Probably closer to 30. I think another 10 hours on it will bring it to shine back out.
Wow, so that's a good lesson, that just because the car is a lot smaller doesn't mean it's going to take less hours. I mean, again, this one's paint, the Azada had lacquer paint, and this one is, we can't quite determine what kind of paint it
has
is.
some sort of clear in it.
Some kind of clear in it because the black's not coming off on the pads, but we're not quite sure. But it's going to take a lot more car than it did on the Azada. And if you missed the Azada last couple weeks, look back through the Facebook feeds and you'll see that it was a beautiful car, and that one was headed to Pebble Beach, as this one is headed up north to Conner Prairie. Amy, if you can come back around here, we're going to just talk about some of the products that we used and that we're going to use on this car. So I believe you started with the Cut Max because you needed the highest cut, so that's our 6.3, and then you moved on with the Cut and Finish, and you used the Cut Max with the red pad.
Yes.
And you can see this pad is quite used. The Cut and Finish is a 5.5, so we still needed some cut, but we needed to bring that gloss up a little bit. Then we moved on to the EX, and then I think you're going to finish out with the Nano, because we want to get the highest, the lowest cut, because this paint, we noticed yesterday, just wiping off some of the polish, it's marring the paint back up. And one of the things that Mike Phillips always talks about is the more you touch the car, the more chances are you're going to mar the paint. So when we finish this car out, we're on the Azada, we use the Carnauba. Carnauba takes a little bit more on the microfiber to get the wax off. So I think when we finish this car, we're going to use our high-speed wax, because it's a Carnauba blend, but it's a spray wax. So that way you'll be able to spray it on and wipe it off without a whole lot of elbow grease, and hopefully not mar the paint at all, because Jason's doing a great job here, and we don't want to have him go back and do any of his work. And then we're going to use a little bit of our leather foam cleaner on the interior. The interior is a little bit damaged. I think we've got a little bit of weather damage here on just the trim, but the leather seats themselves, other than just being dirty, I think those are going to clean up really nicely. So we're going to keep working on this car, and hopefully on next week's Facebook Live we'll be able to show you the finished product before it rolls out the door. Thanks for joining us today, and have a great weekend.